Yeah, so thank you very much, Benedict, for such useful information that you provided with us. And we have some direct access entities. For their sake, we will be looking at how we could put it in a document form, and then have it translated into French so that the direct access entities who are more francophones could also have access to this information. Very, very useful. And, with my experience with the Green Climate Fund at the AFDB, I mean, this information that you provided, it's so wonderful. Even for me, who has that experience mobilizing a lot of resources from the GCF, this is very, very useful. So I believe that for direct access entities, especially those who have just gotten accredited, this is going to be immense help for them. And we'll try and see if we could do the translation into French. I have one hand up. Prof. Jimmy.
Thank you, Timothy, for putting this together. Just fantastic opportunity to engage here. Benedict, it seems to me that you've been in the leadership of this entity, the EIF, for maybe almost from inception, or if not, you've certainly been in the middle of it from the beginning. It's almost 10 years now. Is that correct? Yeah, it's almost 10 years now. You would have. Yeah. Okay, so there must have been transitions, political transitions. How has the political environment, the macro political environment in Namibia, how have you been able to survive the disruptions that happen, and that truncate progress in things like this? So this happens all over, in multiple countries. Speak to that. How have you navigated that issue? Of course, you can only say the things that is safe to say here. But give us some sense of how that has been in media.
Thank you so much.
Benedict?
Very interesting. Yeah. Yes.
Benedict?
Yes.
Is it okay if we take some set of questions? Maybe we take 3 for now. Please, see Vivek's hand up. Please, if you want to ask a question, we'll take 3, and then you'll answer, and then if we have more time, we'll take more.
Not so much a question.
And then Diane. Vivek and Diane, please, for now.
Okay, just a quick intervention. And Benedict, excellent presentation. Lovely to see you after what is nearly 2 years now. Look, just a quick intervention. I mean, one of the things that strikes me from Benedict's presentation is the connectedness of development with NDCs in Namibia. It's not something that we see very often. And to give you context, I run Africa Infrastructure Development Association. We run an accelerator for private sector PPP and public sector projects, helping them think their navigate their project development journey a little bit faster. What we find is there are projects even in coastal protection, transport, water, irrigation, even digital ICT that should be they should be linking in with their national NDC process and with Green Climate Fund to capture the greenness. But they don't. And there is a fundamental gap that we perceive across the continent, really. We've engaged with projects from over 21 countries in the last 3 years. And they're searching for project development capital and debt and equity without actually linking in. I mean, things like airports, things like ports, they have fundamental impacts. They are impacted by climate. They have fundamental impacts on resilience against climate going forward. or climate impacts going forward, and somehow that connection is missed. And I think, what is worth noting from Benedict's presentation is that Namibia is one of the few countries where they managed to making those connections. So any lessons that you can share on how the overall development narrative, development initiatives in Namibia are benefiting from that strategic linkage between the NDC process, the Green Climate Fund process, would be beneficial.
Okay, thanks, Vivek. So Dan, you have one minute, and we will try and close by 9:30 EST, 1:30 GMT, 16:30 EAT. So Dan, you have 1 minute for your question.
Hello?
Oui, tu peux parler en français. Diane.
Ok.
Diane.
Bien.
Wow.
Oui, c'est M. Pierre. Mon anglais n'est pas trop clair, c'est pourquoi je vais parler en français, quoi. Tout ce que je demande, c'est de... Allô?
Monsieur, on n'attend pas. Hein?
Oui. J'ai dit, vous m'entendez maintenant? Vous m'entendez?
Oui, allons-y.
Voilà, c'est de nous produire les documents en français. C'est encore plus facile. Moi, je comprends très bien l'exposé en anglais, mais la traduction, c'est un peu difficile pour moi. Moi, j'aurais voulu que vous nous envoyiez les documents en français. Sinon, la logique, moi, je suis la logique de l'exposé de M. Libanda. Et je sais que c'est vraiment bien. Et la procédure est bien. Mais pour mieux comprendre pour nous, surtout pour moi, là, c'est lorsque vous allez m'envoyer le document en français. Ce serait mieux pour moi. C'est ce que je peux demander, pas d'autres questions.
On va faire ça.
Voilà,
on va faire ça, monsieur Lama.
Voilà.
Monsieur
En plus, allô?
Oui.
En plus, désormais, c'est de créer aussi une plateforme. Une plateforme d'intervention serait encore mieux.
Une forme d'intervention.
Oui, c'est tout. Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Oui, ça, c'est les plateformes qu'on a créées pour faire ça.
OK.
Monsieur Diane Baou, est-ce que tu veux toujours... On ne t'entend pas. Hein?
Mais l'image n'apparaît plus. Hein? On ne vous voit plus à chose en image.
Muté, tu as muté.
Ouais.
OK, allons-y. No.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you, Timothy, for putting it together. I think this platform is an amazing venue to discuss, some of the things that we have been talking about. And thanks, Benedict, for the great presentation and the great achievement. So I would like to know more about the service provision of your organization in terms of capacity development and in terms of support to the accreditation process and the proposal development process. So what is the process for accessing to your support services? Is there a fee to be paid, or what are the conditions? Thank you.
Okay, so with that,
again,
Benedict, if you could get all that, the one from Prof. Jimmy, Vivek, I think Mr. Lamar's one was a request, and then Diane. If you could do that all within 8 minutes, that would be great.
I'll do it within 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific.
Okay. Professor Jimmy, thank you for those observations. Very, very valid questions. I'm now 14 years at the EIF. I was the first staff member appointed at the EIF, and now we are more than 90 staff members. How have I survived the political challenges, looking at, the change of governments? I think one of the benefits of the positive note of Namibia is that in that 14 years, there's only have been one party. So a political party that has been winning the elections. So there is consistent within the political system. So unlike other countries where a new party comes in and transform and changes everything, there's been consistent in policies. There's been consistent in supporting even projects that were conceived 30 years ago. So since independence, Namibia has only been administered by one political party. And I think that it worked very well to my favor. Maybe that's why I've survived. I don't know. Maybe that is, yeah, it's very, very tricky question, Jimmy. But most importantly, one of the strategies that we've been imposing is that whenever there's a new minister or new administrations, we will reach out to the 7 key ministries that we work with. That is the National Planning Commission, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, the Ministry of Agriculture and Water, the International Relationship, Ministry of Mines and Energy. So those ministries are keys, and one needs to align to their vision. One needs to also inform them of the mandates and the strategic, direction of the EIF. I think that engagement is stakeholders management very key. Luckily, EIF does not have political interference. We do have a discretion mandate. We do investment decisions away from political influence. So we work across we don't look at political, colors in the country. So as EIF, and we've set our policies in a way that there is one of them is the NDC, the climate change policies, and the national, reports that are sent, the national communications reports that are sent to the UNFCCC. So extremely important that we align to the NDCs. If NDCs is updated, we also update our strategies. 3 weeks ago, we even had a slot in Berlin during the NDC Investment Summit, where we also presented how our NDCs are tied, how our projects are tied to the NDCs. Yeah, we're doing a lot of green ports, special economic zone development that are climate resilient, and these are targets within the NDCs. So we have positioned ourselves as a vehicle for financial and resource mobilization and deployment in support of the objective and vision of the NDCs. I think that has been really, really good and works in our favor when we do programming as well as resource mobilization, because there's clear linkages in whatever we do to the NDC. Then service provisions, we support aspiring accredited entities across Africa. We have supported the Development Bank of Zambia. They even came to Namibia for a benchmarking exercise. We've hosted them for a week. In that, I think 3 days, I'm lying, for 3 days. In that 3 days, we would share policies with them, strategies that we're developed, the financial instrument, our credit systems, our debt equity, structuring. We've shared everything with them, and then they applied for GCF, they got accredited. The DBN, the Development Bank of Namibia, we've been supporting the Development Bank of Namibia for accreditation. We accessed a readiness grant, and we appointed, consultants to help them. Same again, we're currently supporting the Eswatini, from Eswatini Environmental Agency, I can't remember the name. In Botswana, we are working with the National Environmental Fund of Botswana. to support them with accreditation. So we are open. We don't charge fees. We are open to share our policies, our strategies with any aspiring accredited entity for free. We don't charge any fees when it comes to support, and we look forward, to work with any entity that, across the continent, in terms of sharing lessons, sharing strategies, documents, and also just general support, so that we see more entities accredited, direct access entities accredited on the continent. That will also make us, even look much, much better. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much, Benedict, and your spirit. We have the same spirit of really helping Africa. It's not always money, and sometimes people look at it and they may think that this person is stupid, or this institution is not. Why are they not doing this for financial gains? We have a network, and I've seen Pierre Telep also on. We have a network that we work together. If you want any assistance, we could put you in touch. But there are certain times, I will let you know, there are certain times that if you've received the money from GCF, for the allocation, for the readiness, that money has been allocated, and you will use it for the services that we will provide. We coordinate together in the same way that we don't compete, in the same way that we don't want the accredited entities to compete. We try to support each other. So if you get in touch, we will see how we could all rally around to help you. We've seen a lot of accredited entities which are coming up, and we need to be able to rally together to support, so that we're able to help the continent mobilize more funding and deploy more funding on the continent. It's the time is up, and Mr. Lamar, I've noted your, but because of the time, we could take it after this. I'll be glad to spend some time to answer your question, but because of the time, we may have to end over here. So colleagues, thank you very, very much. And we will communicate the next meeting that is going to be in October with you. And we need to be pushing together so that we'll be able to not only mobilize, but also deploy GCF resources at scale on the continent. With that, thank you all and have a great day.